Bakery and Chow, as well as Heather Lundy Nelson of Khesed. Did I pronounce it right?
You did.
We were working on that all morning, people. Khesed Wellness. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thanks, Jensen.
Thank you too.
All right, as always, a quick story of my yesterday. I, once again, got to have some therapy. I got to cook a little bit, did a 4-gallon batch of tikka masala and a 4-gallon batch of Thai red curry, which makes me so happy inside. So Betsy has been delivering out some care packages to the neighborhood. Always a lot of fun. Once again, always get onto the Best Served Podcast Facebook page. We have the hashtag 86 coronavirus virtual tip campaign where you in the industry can put in your information, Venmo, PayPal, and get direct donations, as well as if you are somebody who the hospitality industry, restaurants have supported for years and years and years, putting millions and millions and millions of dollars into the nonprofit sector, please now pay that hospitality forward. We now need your support. So get on there and make it happen. Also, the COVID-19 restaurant information thread on the Best Served Podcast Facebook, real-time updates of everything that's happening locally here where we are in Denver, Colorado, but also nationally as well. So get on those two. All right. We got that out of the way. John, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you, Hinmans Bakery, with Chow in these crazy fucking times, my friend.
I have this very strange scale going on.
I'm not surprised.
The Hinmans Bakery side is I am terrified of, and is taking all that we've got right now. We're mostly a wholesale bread company, and last Monday we had 75 customers. Today I have 4. So as far as the wholesale goes, so you can get our stuff at Lever's Locavore and Edwards Meats. The Post is selling our hand pies right now at the moment, and I can't keep enough of them in stock, so that's awesome. And then by the end of the week, Hinmans will be having curbside pie pickup probably on Wednesday and Friday. I'm getting all that worked out today. And then on the other side of life, Chow is kicking ass, and we're out there helping people, and it's great. And we've been making great partnerships with Heather here, and then also with Avante. We've hooked up with them and started Operation Family Meal. So we are out emptying walk-ins right now and taking donations, and we are getting all the food in from the other restaurants and processing everything as fast as we can, and getting it frozen, made into stock, so we can start providing meals. And those meals will be available for pickup. You can check it out, Operation Family Meal on the Facebook, and we're going to have 3 pickups a week at 5 different locations. So hop on there and check that out.
Yeah, good. I just added that link into the Facebook event there to check that out. I saw some pictures of everyone prepping. Amazing work happening there. And I know we'll get back to that and deep dive into that later in the week when we'll actually have Thomas and Daniel, who are kind of spearheading that from the Operation Family Meal side. So we'll get more information. But for now, check out that link on Facebook for sure, because that starts today, Monday, March 23rd. All right, Heather, tell us about Khesed Wellness a little bit, big picture, what you're working on, and then we'll connect the dots a little bit for everyone on the collaboration going on.
Definitely. So Khesed is a mental health nonprofit in the greater Denver area. And our mission is to provide outpatient mental health therapy services to the uninsured and the underinsured. And we do this by offering affordable mental health therapy services day to day. And uniquely during the time of COVID-19, we want to specifically serve those who are being directly affected and fit within those realms of underinsured and underinsured. And I think we all know here that industry folks are those people. And so we actually have clinicians on our team that are from the hospitality world, and we've been passionate about connecting with that world for some time now. And when COVID-19 started to expand the way that it has, specifically within the industry, we got together and said we need to find a way to help our local community in the greater Denver area being directly affected. And so what we did is we connected with some local community members, and we created a $15,000 match donation campaign. And in less than 48 hours, local community members raised a total of $30,000 for us to offer 500 free sessions to those that are being directly affected within the industry in the greater Denver area. We have already started. I know, it's incredible, you know, and I think
500.
and our community raised those funds. People in our greater Denver area came together and said, yes, let's support local nonprofits. You know, I think there's a lot of pain right now, and I don't want to kind of breeze over that. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of fear, and it makes sense. And it's incredible how people can come together in this time. You know, I literally was just checking in with John when our team was also coming together and creating this strategy and this plan. And we just happened to connect the dots on Operation Family Meal and how Khesed can join the conversation, and we can all do this together. And so it's been an incredible ride already to see that community is stepping up, and we want to help our hospitality workers. Khesed is ready to receive calls today. We've transitioned 100% of our services to video and phone telehealth. And then when we're past COVID restrictions, when that day comes,
yes,
we will also be able to transition people to our in-person sites. And we have 13 locations in the greater Denver area right now. And so there's a way that we can help both in the moment, and we can also be there for the community after this thing too, because the reality is we're all very understandably focused on our physical health right now. We're focused on our financial health. Heck, we're focused on just trying to get a meal. And our mental health is in the background, and our mental health will be with us through the process and after the process. And if we can make help possible now, if we can get people support right now so that they know that they're not in this alone, then it's amazing what it can do and how it can support our health in the long term as well. So we want to do everything that we can for our community to know that we're here and we're with them in this, and they truly do not need to be alone.
Heather, I got goosebumps. That's serious work.
Let's do this thing.
I like that you transitioned so smoothly and quickly into the tele health side. I think that's really, really smart, really, really needed. I know John is thinking in the same way as how we interact in hospitality. And look, our industry, we are known for not taking care of our mental health. That's a big, big issue for us.
That's why we
destroy our bodies and minds because we have a lot of tough guy, tough gal mentality. So I appreciate hearing that. And really one of the things that you're saying that I think is important, I've been really getting people on is like, I'm scared shitless as well, yet I am so inspired and invigorated, and I have this grind and this hustle, this entrepreneurial spirit. And I think long-term, and in the long term, I think about this moment right now that we have. People are going to look at us generations from now and go, that is what it means to be a part of humanity. I think we have a truly powerful opportunity to show people what it means to be human, to take care of each other, because we've been put in this situation, and that adversity is going to breed all kinds of innovation and creativity. And I'm excited about that, especially for the hospitality industry. So thank you from a macro level. Thank you for that. Let's get into some details. John, Heather talked a little bit about just connecting those dots, and I think that's important, something that I know you do very well, always just putting yourself out there, and you find what you look for, usually in life, don't you? If you're looking for the negative, you find it. If you're looking for the positive, you find it, and you found it. And I know you've been out there hustling. I don't think you've been home for more than 10 minutes in the last.
No, I haven't been home for 10 minutes.
Talk about that, and then connect those dots for us between Hinmans Bakery, Chow, Khesed, Operation Family, Avanti, a lot of moving parts there. Give us a little bit of the nitty gritty.
I don't plan on being home too much. based on running around and getting all this stuff out that we're doing with Operation Family Meal until they put like that buzzer on my door that I used to have in jail that let me out, so I can still go out. I'm going out, but we're taking our precautions and being careful, but
be smart, be safe.
And then to play off Heather's community, tonight, Chow will be hosting the first virtual online meal at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we've got a room in Zoom there, and you guys can come join us at 5 o'clock and make your favorite meal, or make, Jensen Cummings, I'll definitely have cheese and crackers, as from our last podcast, but let's just do this whole community meal and come and just talk. We don't even have to get that deep. We can just talking about your meal, or about what's going on, or what it's like to be stuck in your house, or I posted something pretty funny on the Chefs with Issues page the other day because everybody was lamenting about how bad it is to be at home, and I said, how many people have actually seen the inside of their oven for the first time, and then all these people chimed in with some funny stuff. I didn't know I had 2 more roommates in there, and da-da-da-da-da. So many chefs have never opened their own oven. It's pretty crazy.
We need some levity. I like that. Let's be real, but let's also know that we'll get through this if we stick together and don't lose our shit.
Yeah.
Please. Okay, so connecting with Heather, with all these pieces, the goal is basically to create what? A pipeline for mental health, a pipeline for access to food, literally access to food, and just an infrastructure around support and ongoing communication. Did I kind of nail that? What am I missing? Give us the full breadth of what people can expect, Heather.
Definitely. So people can get connected to Operation Family Meal to find drop sites Monday, Wednesday, Friday to pick up food. Information about Khesed will be at those sites. And in addition to that, if people are listening right now, the best way to get connected to Khesed is to go to our website. Khesed is spelled Khesed, wellness.com, KhesedWellness.com. You can also
got it in the comments, so check out the comments. You can find a link to the Operation Family Meal, a link to Chow, as well as a link to Khesed, if and when you need some support, because we all do for sure. And so then Khesed, working through the hospitality industry, how and why did that become a focus for Khesed in this moment, or is it always the focus for Khesed Wellness?
Hospitality industry, service industry, gig workers, artists, those are our audience day to day, because those are the populations that are usually uninsured and underinsured, especially when it comes to mental health. Thankfully, there's a lot more conversation about defeating mental health stigma and recognizing that mental health is what it means to be human. And there's also a really huge reality that if a waiter or bartender decides they do want to get their own mental health support, they usually can't afford it and they don't have coverage for it. So Khesed has always been passionate about that. But then when COVID-19 started ramping up, unemployment directly affecting this population and those other realities continuing to be true, we said we need to come into this and we need to be a resource because we can. And so we are the side of this whole thing that can say we can offer mental health support from licensed postmasters clinicians right now. And we can provide that side while we also recognize that people need to eat. And so we're joining forces in making that possible on both ends of what we do and taking our expertise and coming together. And just like you're saying, the only way we're going to get through this is together, and we're in this together, and we will get through this together.
John, the stigma of mental health, of needing help in the industry is deep-seated, deep-rooted. Touch on that a little bit. Let's give people a little bit of a roadmap for it's okay to not be okay.
It's totally okay not to be okay. And, I'm no professional I'm a professional in mental health because I suffer from it, but I'm not a professional at solving the issue where Heather comes in, which has always been a dream for Chow for me, is that Chow can we can meet people where they're at, and then it can become a trampoline to get people that actual help that they need. And Heather is a big part of that. You know, she can catch a lot of these people. And so, and it's what I needed, was to address the stigma, you know, talk to somebody and finally admit to myself that I had problems, and tell somebody and say, I need help. And that biggest step is asking for the help. But then after I did that, things changed for me. Once I actually said, hey, I need help. And all of a sudden something inside of me just started saying yes. I was taking people's suggestions to do this. I was going to different meetings. I was putting myself out there and meeting new people. I was, you know, just starting to say involuntarily, say yes. And my life just started changing just by being open enough to say yes. And if I hadn't started talking, I definitely wouldn't be alive today. And so, you know, I consider myself in a lot of ways a dead man walking. So I'm a little less fearful about going out right now. I know I'm not Superman, and I can totally be affected by this if, you know, and it may happen and it may not, but I'm just going to keep going out there and trying to do good work, you know, because.
Yeah, I want to touch on an audience that there is maybe a majority in the hospitality industry. Is your story is, John, it's fucking crazy. When you say dead man walking, anybody have a conversation with John, it'll give you chills and give you pause to think about your life for a second. Now, that being said, there's a lot of us, myself included, who just a couple times woke up in their car in the parking ramp of their restaurant after a night out, after a drink or two after work, right? And knock on wood, luckily now my beer of choice is LaCroix Tangerine. So I feel lucky for that. However, most of us, you know, we're just work hard, play hard, and it doesn't get to the depth that you got to. Yet that's the majority, and maybe need the most help, because it's also toxic within the relationships we have just on a day-to-day in the industry and at home. So I know you talk to a lot of people. How do we get the people that just have a little bit of an issue to be able to be open, that didn't hit rock bottom, to be able to be open to those yeses and those conversations? Maybe give us a little bit there, because that's the audience that I think could have the biggest impact on the industry as a whole if we start having open conversations.
Right. And I think that we all just drove our car into a big brick wall at 100 miles an hour, you know, this week. You know, it came to a dead stop. You know, a friend of mine tells me that spirit speaks through brick walls, you know, and I keep running into these walls all the time in my life. And it's like, no, John, not here. No, John, not here. And then, you know, re-navigate. You know, I don't know. So people are really acting out this week. You know, I've read a lot of stuff on chefs with issues, and people have lost their sobriety this week over it. And, you know, you can always come back home. You know, you don't have to keep running or keep drinking or keep using or whatever. You can stop and you can say, hey, I'm going to go do this at 5 o'clock and go have a meal with a bunch of people online and see what's going on out there, rather than, you know, sit here and drink another bottle of wine at 5 o'clock, you know, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So yeah, if it's 5 o'clock somewhere now, why don't we all cook a meal and hop online on Monday nights, you know, and get together?
Oh, I like that, John. I mentioned it at the onset of the show. This is very therapeutic for me. I've actually maybe cooked more. You know, I've done a lot of fermenting in the last couple of years, as John knows, but I've been cooking a lot more in the last few days, and it's been truly therapy for me. So I think basically being able to swap out some of those vices, because here's the thing, in hard times, vices actually go up. The consumption of vices actually go up. You know, when it's good times, we drink too much. When it's bad times, we drink a lot more. And so that's being able to swap that out with something positive. I like that, and having an arena to be able to have those conversations. So I am all in. I'm a full buyer of the new digital restaurant, the digital dinner table, because I think we're going to need a place to socialize. And that's not only in our heads and only in the bottle or whatever your vice might be. So I appreciate that as well. Heather, got a great question from Meg Battizi, who's the owner-operator of The Lobby in Denver, Colorado. We had her husband, Christian, on yesterday. Great convo. Check that episode out. She says, thanks for all that you're doing, guys. Not me. That's the two of you. Are you offering more long-term services, or are you offering one-time connections for people in crisis situations?
Oh, I appreciate that question. So Khesed is not a crisis line, a crisis center, or an inpatient or intensive outpatient. It's best to call Colorado Crisis Services or the National Suicide Prevention Hotline if somebody needs crisis care. It's free to call those hotlines. You can Google whatever is closest to your region too for the local numbers. For Khesed, we are specifically offering outpatient mental health care and doing it via telehealth as long as we have these restrictions in place. And so when somebody reaches out to us, we will contact them within 1 to 2 business days to set up their initial session. When people are connected to this program, we are committed to serving the industry with the funds that have been raised for the next 3 months. That's how long these funds can be allotted for. If we reach our capacity sooner and this program just gets bigger than we anticipate, then we'll search for more funding and look to our community for more resources. But our commitment is that for the next 3 months, we can offer ongoing care. And then either when people get their jobs again, then they can transition to our affordable program, or we can look at how things unfold. I think we all recognize there's a lot of unknowns, but what I can tell you is we're going to do the best that we can to offer support to this community. So 3 months minimum for those people connected to our program. Khesed is specifically for those that are appropriate for outpatient care.
Okay, understood. So get on Khesed Wellness website, check that out. Chow to be able to get access to seeing John's pretty face for dinner tonight. And then Operation Family Meal to be able to get yourself fed in these times. And there'll be pickups Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can find information that starts today, March 23rd. And now,
and if you want to, if you want to donate, you can make a donation directly through the Chow website. Okay. There's a donate button, and that money is getting divvied up between Heather, Chow, and Operation Family Meal.
Excellent. Get in there, people. It's time for some action for sure. All right, positivity. I think the attitudes are positive, and I love that. We're going to talk about some real stuff in these moments, and we're also going to think about the positive. I love the attitudes. We're not going to dwell, and that bodes well for the hospitality industry. We run through a lot of brick walls, don't we, John? And so I think it's important for us to be able to have that dust yourself off attitude and get up and fight another fight, whatever that is. Just don't fight yourself up here. I think that's the message that we're talking about. Don't kill your mind and your body through this. But pure positivity. This is exciting, people, because we got a couple vinyl heads here that we're geeking out. We couldn't even get John to sit in his seat. He was grabbing every record and records. It's like, actually listen to the full episode of John Hinman on the podcast, the Best Served podcast, either our website, you can find him on Facebook, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We talk a little bit about how he organizes his records, which is pretty hilarious.
We can still have that dance off online. We can have the online dance off for a half hour.
I'm ready. He still promised me that he's going to find Lionel Richie dancing on a ceiling, because that was our cleanup song when I was a young pup, my first restaurant job. I'm waiting for it, John. And we already got a comment. I got to mention this. We got a comment because I have all the hats behind me, and I literally had no background. I was like, I need to do something. I started putting hats up, and you can see my son's Ninjago hat. They started putting hats up. And so now at the end of the show, as a stupid shtick, I try on a hat. So people are saying they want you to send me that hat, John. So I need one of those hats.
My mother gave me this from Scotland.
John will never part with that hat.
No.
But give us some playlist stuff. What are you recommending people listen to right now as they need some time to decompress?
Go for it, Heather.
So if you are a Spotify listener, Peaceful Meditation has been a fantastic one if you really want to chill out. For all my fellow vinyl heads, I've been super into Moonchild. Let's see, can I get it in here?
You have to pan it across.
Yeah, pan it across. There we go. Moonchild is also online. You can find them on Spotify and on all the sources, but their playlist is incredible just for some chill in the background.
I like it. Moonchild. John, what about you?
Well, I think when I've been coming home at night, I've been breaking out the Dire Straits Communique album. It just starts off with Once Upon a Time in the West, and I just love how that song just chills me right out. And then I've been listening to U2 Songs of Experience lately. It's a great album, and it's just got a lot of hope in it, and I really enjoy it. And then before I go out to get the donations, I've been listening to Bruce Springsteen's Wrecking Ball. It's got a song "We Take Care of Our Own" on it, which is a good fire up song in the car, and another song called "Wrecking Ball," which is called "Bring On Your Wrecking Ball," and just get me going, you know.
Yeah, I had to keep John at 3 records. I think he was going to show us his whole high school year of records. So really appreciate the work that both of you are doing. John will be back on the show later this week, so check that out because we're going to dig even deeper into Operation Family Meal because I want to find out what's on the menu. Because I saw a lot of pictures. I saw a lot of avocados getting broken down.
Man, we got so many. I got picked up 60 cases of avocados, I think.
I saw that.
Seattle Food is going to be dropping off a few thousand pounds of fish today, and we got a lot of sushi chefs. We got Elon involved, and he's got some sushi guys coming down to slay all that fish this afternoon. That's going to be pretty cool.
Elon Wenzel from Element Knife Company can break down a fish lickety split. So we'll dig into everybody involved behind the scenes, who's actually cooking, who's been donating product to that, and dig into that so people can get access to that. Thank you to the work that both of you are doing. Everybody get into the comments because there's links there. Let us know how you're doing. And I'm also going to link up a couple of those Dire Straits and Moonchild so people can get on and listen and decompress or get yourself energized. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you, Jensen.
Guys, have a great day.
You too.
You too.
All right. Unbelievable work that's happening between Khesed Wellness, Chow, Operation Family Meal, specifically in the Denver area. For anybody outside of Denver watching, because I know there are some people across the country, this is a model, if anything. Take a look at what's happening in these organizations, how they're interconnected, the way that they're working with each other, and find the opportunity to create that infrastructure, that support in your own market. If you need help with that, not only are they doing work here in the Denver area, but they are so happy to be able to talk to you about the opportunity to create that level, again, of support in your market. So please do not hesitate to reach out to them, to reach out to me, to get connected. Now, as always, like 5 shows, as always, got to try on a hat. And first of all, people, send me some hats because I'm going to run through these hats really quickly. I realize I don't have entirely enough hats to do a daily broadcast. Send me a hat. I will put it on. Not that anybody cares, but I will put it on. And I'll tell people that you kick ass. And today, that feels good. It's a little loose. The hair is really short right now. LA Dodgers, lifelong fan. That's hard being in Denver, Colorado. I remember when I was 9 years old going to Chavez Ravine early because there was a giveaway of a plasticky blue Ramon Martinez glove. I got one of those with my Aunt Janie. That's Pedro Martinez's older brother when they both played for the Dodgers. I am going into full conspiracy mode right now because I'm pretty sure we've gotten hosed 2 years in a row in the World Series. And now this is just another conspiracy to keep the Dodgers from winning a World Series. Ridiculous, I know, but I got a lot of time on my hands to fester about this. Thanks as always for listening, tuning in and watching. Forgot we're a live podcast now, watching. Tomorrow, we're going to try this again. We had Katie Laser, the executive director of Eat Denver, on this past week. However, technical difficulties with the old interwebs kept that episode from actually going live. So we are going to be talking to Katie Laser again and it's going to be even bigger, better, faster, stronger episodes. So tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. That is noon on the East, 9 a.m. on the West. I appreciate you as always. Be safe out there, people. Cheers.